Good morning, everyone. This is if you haven't caught the previous 10,000x crypto one, it's a stream that basically talk about some of the tokens. I mean, of course, a couple of the blue chips in this one, and I talked about Hex in the last one, which kind of talked about EX and PX. But this is a series that I just want to highlight. Beyond price performance, whether or not these things do 10,000x or not, some of the more interesting, assets in our community. So going for an early one this morning, very early my time. And shout out to everyone out there right now who is enjoying their weekend. And I hope to as well. Did not plan to go this morning, but I was up early. So why not? Let me say hi to the chat. Got my tea here, just kind of getting into the mood. Been working on some code this morning. Heads down into coding. Came across a framework that I think is interesting, and I'll probably do a stream on at some point when I release it to talk about that. But it's about monitoring some PulseChain, some swaps and pair creation stuff on PulseChain, and some tools you can use around that. So new code coming. Very excited about that. What's up, Red Squirrel? Let me get my voice in order here. It's amazing how you wake up and your voice is just not what it was until you've said, your first 100,000 words or so. So pretty cool. Red Squirrel, as always. Kaiser, how's it going? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you, Kaiser. Amazing clips you put out there. DJ and Dougie, how's it going, sir? Armando, how's it going? Good morning. Just finished exercise and feel good. Feel like Hex. I feel like as good as Hex at $1, PulseChain at a penny. One day, sir. You never know. One day, that'd be cool if that happened, wouldn't it? Yeah, I haven't even exercised myself this morning. It's too early. It's not even light outside yet. So I will probably take my run and stuff in the next couple hours. Enjoy some weekend breakfast. Use some French toast. I'm a French toast lover, so may do that. And had a little mini breakfast. Had a snack. Had a couple eggs this morning. It's a snack, but I'll get into my more weekend breakfast in a little bit. Anyways, let me put up on the screen here. So I'm going to talk about PulseChain, WAATSA, which you don't know what WAATSA is. I'll explain that. It's actually not a token. It's a NFT, DeFi NFT, part of the Hedron ecosystem. It's a yield-bearing NFT that you can trade in. It accrues, and you can sell to the contract for ICOSA if you dare. Get more into that, and ink, of course, as well. So got plenty of references, plenty of pictures, pretty pictures, and some commentary around as well. So if you got any questions, put them in the chat, and give me just a minute. I will get started. So let me share the screen. Yeah, by the way, before we get into that, I shared let's see. PulseChain is one of those ecosystems. Oop, that's not me. It's not my account, at least. I have like a temporary account I use with streaming. Let's see, replies. So I just want to show. So again, if you've been following me on setting text messages and getting alerts for new, when new products are launching, such as 9inch and otherwise, this is the screenshot that got captured. I got emailed this photo of. I also got a text message of changes and stuff too when the farms went live. Although I technically this morning I just hit refresh and I happened to catch it at the right time, anyways. Look at that, million percent. Like it's one of the few places, 1,000,000%. Now it's already went down to hundreds of thousands of percents and stuff like that. Who knows what the price is going to do? Impermanent loss, all that stuff. So do be careful if you're participating because it could look like a good deal, and depending on how prices go and how long you're willing to stay in it and all that stuff. Yeah, all that's very, very important. So be careful out there if you're participating in farms. That was just again, this is not just for 9inch, but I have a lot of different techniques and discovery and stuff that I'm going to continue to use. I use them for PulseChain launch. I'll continue to use for other projects launching as well, to try to get in early, or get notified early, or make certain arrangements and stuff if I'm interested in participating or not. So pretty cool. This is the first time I tried it out. I tried out the visual ping service for wanted to test out a 9-inch to see how it worked, and yeah, worked fine. So we'll get to check the chat before we get into PulseChain's first one. The Chad getting his early pumps in this morning. He wanted to get some good information, so he came to the channel, and I will certainly hope to celebrate that. I said, only a matter of time before we hit all those hex dollar and PulseChain 1 penny. I certainly hope so. Hocus Bogus, I lost so much money in Pulse than I had paid in $700 and got done not so well. Well, again, I know it's probably not what you want to hear. If you don't sell, you didn't lose. But at the same time, I understand the stack prices that went down. Trust me, you're not the only one who didn't sell at that 2.5x when it first launched, for example. So, yeah, I don't. What's the should I have sacrificed, or was it wrong to sacrifice for PulseChain PulseX video? I clipped that. I talked about that the other day to give you a little bit of nuance as well. But I think being in the community and getting exposure to a lot of the ideas and getting information, getting an edge. Like before I started streaming, I feel like after I started streaming, I got access to so many more people and so many more ideas, and got to ask them questions and stuff. It really is a win-win in that way. If people want to hang out with you or talk to you and stuff, you can expose a lot of the ideas that are kind of not many people talk about. That's one thing I try to do on the channel. I try to have people on to discuss ideas. They're like, everyone's wondering, but nobody really knows how to ask, or they just don't have access to ask. I'm like, okay, well, if I have access to people, I'll try to ask and get good answers, and because I want to learn myself. And of course, we can scale learning by streaming. That's one way to do it. So lovely morning to you as well, Yellowtail. But yeah, PulseChain's down below SAC, PulseX way below SAC. Hexes went down, but it's a bear market. I didn't expect them to go wildly up and stay there when macro conditions aren't there. And no expectations. So there you go. Eternal codes are so undervalued. There are a lot of ways to evaluate it, and I do like that exposure to T-shares. I love positive feedback loops and all that stuff too. So I certainly hope we're able to get to the prices that we know we can get to. So let's dive into it. PulseChain. So this is a chart. It looks like Money Game Crypto created that a while back. Just to give you an idea, PulseChain is the L1 copy of Ethereum. It is the one that was forked from ETH 2.0. And you're always going to need it for gas, right? Like people talk about that. You're always going to need ETH. Some people say, oh, stock up on ETH because, you'll always need it for transactions if you're using Ethereum. 10 years from now, what's the ETH price going to be? If you can get it for, thousands of dollars now when it's tens of thousands of dollars, or $100 now when it's thousands of dollars, everything, because it's always something you're going to need to use the network. It's what contracts use. It's what everything uses to communicate or to send transactions and pay for things in the network and do, call functions and otherwise. So that's ETH. So PLS, same thing. Again, it's the fork. PLS is the fork. It's probably always going to be a main pair of a lot of liquidity pools, just like ETH is too. Hex used to be heavily tied to ETH, USDC, on Ethereum and stuff too. And a lot of stuff launches on PulseChain. A lot of its main pairs are PLS pairs, right? It's the common pair. A lot of people have it. It's one of the easiest ones to get. You need it for everything. Usually always, people always have some of it. So it has the most automatic marketing and the most likely number of people that are going to see it when they come in, right? Like when if you're going to get Hex, you need ETH or USDC or something first, right? But if you're going to get PulseChain, if you're operating natively on PulseChain and you're using fiat on-ramps that support PulseChain and swaps and stuff like that, you're going to see PulseChain first. So it's going to have that like automatic marketing feature too. So just to look at the X's real quick here too. This is kind of just I don't know if I can say that without I mean, it's just X porn. I guess you could just say like construction porn, right? This is kind of like X porn. This is supposed to be more of a meme or sort of just a thing to get you excited. It's not something to like take literally. Again, maybe not take it literally, maybe take it seriously, but maybe not take it literally. One of those things. So ETH, 15,000x, Solana, 1,000x, Cardano, 1,200x, AVAX, DOT, BNB, all that stuff. So that's what other L1s and stuff have done before. Will they do? Will PulseChain follow? I don't know. I certainly hope so. I hope there's a new chart which has all these, and PulseChain just completely blows it out of the water. That's what I hope happens. So these are just to give you perspective again, what projects have done before. I know there's all these different variables, how much money was raised, and what kind of season was it? What people were really excited about L1s last time, or will they still be excited about it now? Or is AI the new thing? And somebody talks about the what's it called? Round 2 coin? Not round 2. Cycle 2, cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3 coins, all that stuff. But Ethereum, it's what, cycle 3 or so? That's you could call that an exception too. So some of these price comparisons, again, PulseChain is the fork of Ethereum. Will it do what Ethereum did? Who knows? But I think starting with the community, starting with a lot of the Hex community, starting with a lot of the builders that came on to build these products, everyone seems very, very aligned to make PulseChain successful. If nothing else, you take away from what's going on with PulseChain or drama or price go down or whatever, all these things are going on, whatever is not released yet and all this stuff. Everyone seems aligned to make sure PulseChain is successful. That's the cool thing. Always zoom out on that. Like look around. If you're like, okay, is this thing going to last? Does it have hundreds of builders? Does it have hundreds of millions of dollars to TVL? Are people still excited about it? When does it trend? How big is the community? Are they still, is it crypto Twitter dead, for this particular segment and stuff? So is the founder still tweeting? He's been tweeting a lot more lately. So I think that's an underrated thing. Just having so many people aligned, building the products that people need, and again, getting out there. PulseChain Tour, shout out to them. Shout out to RG3, Black Hexkin, SJ, everyone participating in that. Like getting out there, going around the world, or at least around the country, and doing seminars and conferences, and like showing people like, hey, this community is out there. Like this thing is not going away. So that's highly underrated as well. So there's another. Let's see. Take a drink. Do a little peppermint tea. Very good for the throat as well. So there's another comparison Coffee posted recently about PulseX, just tangentially related to just comparing X's and stuff like that. Again, PulseChain comparing the L1s, PulseX comparing the other DEXs. Lots of hundreds of gains, some thousands of gains out there as well. So even the number of days it took, we're 6 months in, working on 6 months in. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time on PulseChain. So it's I'm trying to think what other bullish stuff to talk about on PulseChain. Like why is it's kind of, some of the stuff seems so obvious to me. And it just seems like, the copies too. Yeah. So the copies, people like to talk, the copies thing failed, or, all the tickers getting copied over and all, we had all the farms and stuff like that. I mean, that was a test. That was just Richard like testing out. He even said that was a test to see, like, at least in these market conditions, how can we attract people? Is this good for marketing? Can they hold their value? Can they be worth more than what they're on Ethereum? Think we're never going to get another WBTC or Pepe farm again? Like, you think it's never going to be incentivized, or whether it's DAO voted or not? I would not be surprised to see more farms, especially when the bull run comes, when way more people are here and interested. You got to put that in perspective too. I don't have exact numbers off my head, but I'm going to speculate there are a fraction of the people who, were here in 2020, 2021, let's say 2021, that are here, right now in the late 2023, or even especially early 2023 when things are really, really down. So more people, potentially more money coming in, they can buy the assets. Hopefully we show them the assets that play fair and healthy games. And again, those things, the farms, the incentivization, the copies, people still love PDI and the conspiracies around that and all that stuff too. So you never know. There's just like a lot of different ways that money can come in and flow in different areas. And that's what I like about a lot of the products we have is the money can come in, it can multiply, it can be locked up, it can be in these positive feedback loops for the blue chips and otherwise. And it can, again, give you other things to do rather than trading or stuff. You can still trade, you can still do all these other tools and TA and try to time the stuff too. But at least it gives you an option. A lot of the new people who aren't experienced, they come in. I don't know. It seems like not a good way to come into crypto is like come in and just start trading all the time. Maybe you kind of need to just get it out of your, like maybe some people need to get it out of their system. Okay. I would spending all the time doing this and then, maybe marginal results for most people, or negative results, even, or, learn about all these cool products where you can just go lock it up and earn yield and not to worry about it. Go actually live your life. Actually, time. We say time is the most underrated thing, but a lot of people spend it in ways that are just like, there's literally like either they have no edge or no guarantee there's actually going to be ROI, but there might be. But then you look back and you're like, was there? So having the games where you don't have to do that, having the healthy games, everything's a game, but I like to play the healthier games. And there's nothing wrong with eating experience and stuff like that. Just it's one of those things where, I'm just very careful. I'm very careful because I think, especially, when I'm streaming and stuff, I want to talk about things that I think are going to last the test of time. And, that's why I'm less interested in meme coins, NFTs, and a lot of stuff like that, a lot of shorter term games. I'm more interested in longer term games. But those things bring TVL in. That's what, 9inch, for example, I hope it brings hundreds of $1 million in PulseChain. I hope so. I hope all these projects do. So that's the thing. That's the thing that's missing a lot of times is whether you like the product or not, whether you're going to participate or not. Is it bringing money? Like, question, is it going to bring a lot of money into crypto and is it not going to rug? If yes to both of those, hopefully it'll be a valuable asset. So that is PulseChain. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll move on to WAATSA here in a moment. Talk to the chat. Free speech. What's up, free speech? It's funny. I was looking at new decks. It reminded me of food farms from a year ago. There was so many different things when you say that come to mind. There's like different coins and different. There's been different decks of different funny stuff with that. So yeah, it's PulseChain designed to be best performing asset in the world. It certainly was designed well, and I think it has everything it needs, really. And people like to complain about PulseX more than PulseChain because PulseX doesn't have a lot of their favorite features, limit order, single side staking, this and that, whatever. It's down a lot more than PulseChain, but PulseChain is working great. Validators, number up and to the right, decentralized, fast, cheaper, all that stuff. It's doing everything. So I don't know what else. I don't know what more PulseChain can do. A better block explorer. I mean, it's just all this stuff. Who cares? It's nice to have, but like it just launched. We're not in a up only bull market right now. So I think your points would be more valid in a lot of ways if we were an up only bull market and we're like, okay, people need to have access to the information. They're not getting it. That'd be a different thing. You can take broad position. Yep, that's. I like to, again, there's different ways you can lock up PLS with the validator. There'll be, other ways like loans and stuff to do it. Too, LP, again, know what you're doing. Different ways to save yourself from yourself. Not quite native like Hex has it. Hex kind of has it down pat pretty well, but there's ways. Hopefully, again, putting your money to work. That's what I'm working on. I'm also doing a new series called Making Money in Crypto. I'm going to invite different guests on and talk about different ways of making money in crypto. So I think it'd be pretty interesting. Go down a lot of different verticals. So that should be fun as well. So got a lot of good content coming up for you all. No expectations. Good Hex, good evening. Good evening. Where are you? It's super early morning my way. So you must be in the other side of the world. Hope you're doing well over there, Good Hex. All right. Enjoy a little bit more tea here and I'll go on. All right, WAATSA. Let me get my WAATSA stuff here. DeFi NFTs. So I'm gonna pull up graphics as link. I always have good content here. The graphics that is. So yeah, he goes back and he says it's a blog, which one of the few people have a blog. I have a blog. Graphics has a blog. Liquid Loans, I think, has a blog too, where they post in this content. Really good and searchable. Literally, when I Googled for WAATSA, I was like, okay, I want to get some, good WAATSA information like that I can like reference and show people and stuff like that. And I Googled and graphics' blog came up. Like that's cool. Like that's the value of blog and written format stuff. Yeah, there can be videos coming up and stuff, but I can't sit here and reference a video. Like I don't want to like play the video, watch it, and then reference it. Like it's much easier just to like scroll down and show you highlight stuff. So shout out to Cryptographics and a lot of the blogs he's written on this stuff. So NFTs that only go up in value. What's NFTs? So if you're not super familiar with the Hedron ecosystem or the products within it. So there was Hedron, get you exposure to t-shirts. You can mint it from your hex stakes. It made HSIs. I did videos I talked about. I got stuff on content by Hedron. If you're not familiar, let me just bring up. I know where the best place to go for Hedron is Hedron.pro, I guess. Like the original website and the original Hedron DApp and stuff. So yeah, you can borrow against your stakes and stuff like that. So liquidity, again, I'm not going to explain Hedron. But then there was ICOSA after that, which is like a whole other mechanism, like this positive feedback loop thing, auctions, recycling, like different stuff like that. So they like build upon, it improved the ecosystem. And then around the WAATSA time, I think WAATSA launched, you could also mint the WAATSA NFTs. ICOSA launched, you could mint WAATSA NFTs. And it was maybe, a week or 10-day period or whatever. But you can mint these NFTs that accrue ICOSA. And the bigger NFTs you mint, you could trade them for, I think, ETH. And I can't remember what else you could trade, ETH and stables or something like that. I guess you could mint them through. And then you get this NFT, and then it's like growing Hedron or growing ICOSA. It just keeps accumulating. So let me go to app.icosa.pro. So see, I don't have any WAATSAs here, but you could see them here. And yeah, first 14 days. There we go. So this is a private ICOSA yield pool for those who mint We Are All DSA NFTs during the first 14 days of ICOSA's launch. So you have different points and stuff like that. And when you burn them, everyone that's burned, you can burn them to redeem ICOSA. And it's like a really cool concept. I really like how Alex kicked it off like this. And then, but when you burn them, you get your ICOSA. And I think everyone was in profit within like 6 months or so. Then prices all crashed. But I think like we're almost at profit now. I think Dev Huey tweeted about the other day. And now After it's burned, after each one that's burned, there's like, 20,000 or so left. Then everyone else's percentage in the pool comes up. So you can earn even more. So pretty cool. Yeah, August 15th. Let's see what graphic says about it. So yeah, different strategies, NFT ladder. So yeah, I remember back then that was the cool thing. It's like, okay, you could get like one huge one, or you get like a bunch of different ones. So you could sell like one at a time when you need to. So some people did that. There's some pretty big ones floating out around there too. Never burn strategy. So as time goes on, fewer and fewer remain in the pool. Your NFT will be increasingly in underlying value at faster rate. That means the chances of utilizing NFT into this futures collateral, getting liquid. Yeah, so that's another thing too. Collateralizing. That's something I want to see. That's something that I've talked about with different builders, Maximus guys. I've talked about with Tetra guys, T shares and stuff. I want to see like people to be able to maybe take loans on them or otherwise collateralize them or different stuff, because some of them are pretty big, and that would be cool. People are building on WAATSA. So they also have them, of course, on OpenSea. Let me bring up one here. So this is, that many endpoints, and yeah, placeholder. One day we'll get the monkey pictures. One day we will get the monkey pictures. So it says, yeah, this NFT represents a stake within iCoSA protocol. That's the way they describe it. Details, yeah, it's a 721. Pretty cool. So yeah, one day, I've heard about WAATSA a lot forever. Maybe, so there's Hedron V2 coming out. So that'll probably, let's say in the next 6 months, we'll have Hedron V2 out, which will do the cross-chain staking and auctions and all that stuff. And please, monkey pictures then. Please, monkey pictures. That would be cool, right? So let's see. Let's go to Hex model. Shout out to Dev Huey, by the way. He's one of the few websites where we can keep track of some of this stuff. So you have the WAATSAs. Again, if I had any here, you would see like a list, and you'll be able to burn them if you want to get iCoSA. But iCoSA is really down right now. That's why a lot of people aren't burning them. However, recently, I saw him tweet that a bunch of them got, like 20 got burned or something the other day. Like, okay, like what's that? Where's the iCoSA again? I don't know what anyone's doing with iCoSA right now, other than keeping it staked and hoping the price goes up. Or maybe, liquidity plays and stuff too, but that's going to be, let's see. So today, I thought he tweeted about them being burned recently. Okay. Anyways, hexmodel.com, excellent website for hex stats, iCoSA stats, Hedron stats. And then, what's a yield? Yeah, so over time, let's see. Yeah, that goes to yield pool. What's a yield burn points? Yeah. Anyways, different stats to show them getting burned, different points in the pool, and the yield and otherwise. So let's see. Because yield does NFT. Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked at these stats for a while. But anyways, some stats and stuff on WAATSA and different ones. Let's see. I thought I had Dev Huey's tweet up here. Let me go to Twitter. Dev Huey, because there was a conversation going on about this. Oh, that's not the right one. Dev Huey. Dev _ Huey. Okay. Just tweeted about this. Oh, on Ethereum. Okay. Maybe the PulseChain. It's on Ethereum. So 49 watts of burn on Ethereum, 29,000 endpoints removed. And then, yeah, so that's what he posted here. So $1,000 NFTs accrued 3,000 iCoSA tokens, a bit under sacrifice value. Yeah. So we passed sacrifice value last year, I'm pretty sure. And then now, everything crashed forward back up. So what's up, Gold Key? So WAATSA NFTs. Let's go back to the thread. Does everyone understand? Do you have any questions on WAATSAs, by the way? So I think they're one of the very underrated ones. Very interesting because, again, you have this NFT that accrues yield over time, and people can burn them or keep them, and your percentage of the pool goes, can go up once they get burned. So there we go. When Costa goes live, you'll have a 14-day window to send in, these different things to mint NFTs. Again, you can't mint these anymore, and there's no chart of WAATSA. You can't trade the chart. So it's, as Dipcatcher and I discussed once, I remember him saying that. It's like, I was like, why aren't WAATSAs more talked about? Why aren't they more, popular? He's like, well, there's no chart of WAATSAs, so there's just not a lot of traders and stuff are interested in. But a lot of people within the Hedron ecosystem, I think, definitely are. So let's see, 14 days. Yeah, you get a certain percentage of the pool and get 1% of the, you get daily yield. Amazing thing about these NFTs is they will be always increasing in their value every single day they exist. Cool. In ICOSA terms. ICOSA goes down, they're worth less, but in ICOSA terms, that's pretty cool. So set it. Yeah. Very cool. Shout out to Access, or not Access. Shout out to Access Live, but also shout out to Cryptographics for one day we're gonna have those monkey pictures for that blog post I could reference there. All right, that is WAATSA. It's one of my favorite products in the ecosystem. Have been for a long time, and one of the things, it's kind of like, it does feel like a stake. It feels like you have these stakes that you can just cash in for ICOSA, or never. Or it's like these always accruing stakes that you can, anytime you want, you can end them and get the ICOSA for them. But like nobody wants to end them. Like one train of thought is nobody wants to end them because they want them to keep earning. But also people are burning them almost every day for a while to get ICOSA. But I haven't seen any for a while. I haven't seen any burns for a while other than that Ethereum one. I wanted that 369 ICOSA so bad in the beginning. Yeah, that would be a cool one. And they're transferable too, so you can send WAATSAs. I was giving WAATSAs away. I was giving them last year on stream. I was giving WAATSAs away, just small ones, for trivia prizes and stuff. So very cool. What's up, George Jacko? How's it going? Sensei Dozy, good day to be Hexkin. Certainly is. Certainly is. TC PulseChain is designed to help the best performing asset in the world, Hex. It definitely does. That keeps us from being gatekept. That's the cool thing. You can't be gatekept if you own the network, right? What's up, Duke? Unless there's like a super mutiny or something. Like hopefully that won't happen. We have better chances of being gatekept. We can avoid gatekeeping. Let's say it like that. All right, I'm going to move on to Ink now. That is WAATSA DeFi NFTs, I call them. So we got some stuff on Ink. If you have any questions on any of these or otherwise, let me know because I'll be wrapping up after Ink, calling it a morning. So Ink, PulseX Ink. You get this by yield farming. I guess I should pull up the farm so you can see what I'm talking about. So incentive token is the reward token you get for participating in the farms. And you can also compound and kind of keep like rotating them through in the other farms. So strategy, especially when the APR was way higher and the price was way higher. A few months ago, when the farm first came out, super popular for the first 2 or 3 months because the yield was great, the prices were great, the APR was really high. So essentially, if you provide liquidity, you know what you're doing before you do that. You provide liquidity, and then you can farm the tokens. You put them in the farm, and you harvest. You can harvest incentive token over time. Harvest just means like get it, like send it to me. Get it to send it to your wallet, and you earn incentive token over time, depending on how much percentage you are in the pool, or how much APR is here, and how much you're how big you are. Like if you put in $100,000 versus $1,000 difference in how much you earn and stuff. So you can earn incentive token. I like the way Sloth kind of talks about it a while back when it was like all the rage. Monetizing risk. There's an impermanent loss risk. There's opportunity. What do you call this? Mental model opportunity cost, I guess you could say, of you putting it here versus putting it other places and earning yield. And otherwise, you got to put up either PLS and Ink or Hex or stables, or a lot of people just sit in this pool just earning Ink. They got a lot of PLS. Like I guess like again, I've done a ton of videos on this, so just type in RHMax PulseX farming or incentive token otherwise. But a lot of people sit in, PulseX Pulse Pool, the lowest APR, but it's like the safest as far as if you like, or permanent loss, if you like both tokens, if you don't mind getting more Pulse or PulseX and still earning ink at the same time, well, there it is. So, and there's different, different risky, you get more stables versus Pulse and all this stuff too. So, anyways, we got a ton of content on that if you're interested. But I wanted to, let's see, that's one thing from Gold Key I want to pull up. But I want to pull up the main explanation because I think it's, it really does a good way of explaining how it works, what it's for, and the ability for, I've called it the health indicator, the ecosystem too, of, if it's a lot of people are participating and loving PulseX and using PulseX and prices are higher, let's say, if ink is doing really well. So I think that's another underrated part of it. So, and, everyone's like, oh, ink, I don't care about ink, all this stuff. It outperformed everything when it first came out. That thing went to $80. It's incredible. Like ink outperformed PulseChain, PulseX, Hex, everything by far. Now it went down a lot too. It might have went down the most after that as well, but it outperformed everything in the beginning. So you could not be, when it first came out, it was amazing. And again, nothing's changed. The code's still there. It still works. It's just, prices went down. People got less interested. And it's just, there's we'll talk about the tokenomics a little bit too in here as well. Anyways, shout out to Gold Key. Put this in the chat in case you want to check it out yourself. So he says, I've been interested in knowing how ink earnings on PulseX actually work. Can find information, dug into the contract. When you provide liquidity on PulseX, you get LP tokens. If there is a farm for liquidity pool, you can stake your LP tokens to earn ink. How are your earnings determined? So the pool's allocation points are an important factor in how much ink a pool earns. The allocation points represent the pool's weight and reward distribution to all the pools. Pools with a higher allocation points earn more rewards. Your earnings are determined by the time you've been staked and the amount staked in proportion to total tokens staked in the pool. The more you staked and the longer you stake, the more you earn. So again, you put the tokens in, you have them there. As long as you have them in, they're earning ink. And then just some different, again, calculations and stuff like that. And then finally, the accumulated ink rewards are distributed to the individual stakers by multiplying the difference in accumulated ink per share by the time their last claimed rewards LP balance. So let's see. Yeah, at the end, stake LP tokens earn ink. And another one that he posted too about the inflation, I'll put in the chat. And again, people say, oh, this is RH coin. Like this is, he made Hex, he made PulseChain, he made PulseX. Ink is part of PulseX. So I imagine he had some design into the ink, game theory and otherwise as well. So maybe it's the one he cares the least about, but it is, I still put in the blue chips, and I still think that hopefully people build on it. And again, if I hope it's destiny. I think it and PulseX are tied together in a good way. So of all the charts, ink makes most sense. Supply is in hyperinflationary since launch, currently at 297% annualized inflation. As with any linear unit inflation system, inflation rate will continue to decrease as supply increases. So until inflation rate comes down, downtrend likely will continue. And he's talked about, it went below $1. It went literally, around $80. Went way down to $1, sitting in the this range for a while. Also sat around, I remember, was it 30, 40, 30, $35 or so. And then kind of hovered around $8 for a while, $5, $8, right below $1. Now it's like $1.50 or so right now. But pretty cool on the tokenomics. Again, it's inflationary. However, inflation goes down over time. And this is stuff for, if you're going to be farming for a while. And again, if you think people are going to build on ink, I can't see people being not interested in an RH token or something that is key to the ecosystem of liquidity and all of that story. So yeah, I was high on ink before. I still think it's awesome, and I'm excited to see what it does in the future when we're in a bull market, when everyone's using, when PulseX has all the amazing features and it's working perfectly. I'm excited to see ink, what ink's really made of, because I had that huge run up, which cannot explain how incredible that was. Pretty cool. I remember it went to like $20. I was like, oh, I remember going to the Miami conference and thinking I just left and I saw ink go to like $20. Like, oh wow, $20 is definitely can't go any higher than that, can it? It just kept going. It's like $50, $60, $70. So yeah, the APR and all that PulseX farming was extremely popular back then for a reason. And will it come back? I certainly hope so. I think ink will be a part of that. People building on it. Again, Tetra is able to automate some of this stuff. Maybe it will create more traffic for PulseChain, more volume for PulseX. Help people automatically do farming stuff, compounds, rotate things over. Again, a strategy is like, okay, you want to maybe like one strategy is like farming here, getting the ink, and then rolling the ink into all these, the ink farms, which also is kind of cool because it can add buy pressure to PulseChain and PulseX because you need to have equal sides of both. So if you roll ink over, you got to have more to put in it. If you don't have more to put in it, you got to buy it of the other coin, such as PulseChain, PulseX. So I'm excited for these farms to return to the glory days or get somewhere close to it, because that was cool. That was definitely making people participate, not looking for other ways. That's what that's what you're doing, right? You want to go for the yield. Of course, for me, I want to go for the safer yield. And again, I want to just speak for myself here. I'm looking for yield. I don't want to put my coins where they're going to be like a high risk of getting lost or losing them or the rug pull and all that stuff. So, PulseX is one of the safest places, in my opinion. Like why wouldn't it be? It's the RH product. It's got the most money into it. It's hopefully got the most security and the most audits. And yeah, there may be bugs from time to time, but I don't feel like my money is at risk of being lost on PulseX with farming and stuff. So but stay safe out there, because there's a lot of other dexes and a lot of other games you could be playing that are more risky. So that is the ink story. Again, it is a very interesting token. It's part of the RH ecosystem, and I'm excited for it. A lot of people don't care about it. Why? I'm not saying I'm going to pick ink over to outperform PulseChain and PulseX and all that, but it did in the beginning. So it showed some spunk. I'll say that. But I think that's all I got. Anyone have any? What's up, FinBear? How's it going? Anyone have any questions, or otherwise I'll just hang out on Twitter for a minute. Checking. Yeah, like I said, I've been coding this morning, so I have some code that I'll probably share later on about stuff. If you're interested in money printers, check in the Tetra videos. Very cool stuff going on with Tetra. Practice safe yield. Yes, I agree, Armando. D-Base, whole ecosystem is getting pig slaughtered. Sounds a little harsh. Not sure if it's getting slaughtered in any way, really. I think prices went up recently. However, they may go back down. Who knows? But yeah, prices go up, prices go down. I believe personally that everything will go up over time. I believe in cycles. So we just happen to be not in the up cycle apparently right now. And I can wait. I got time. I can wait. Wait 2 years for PulseChain. I've been following Richard since 2017 and winning ever since. Scrolling through. No step on snake. That was a post I had a while back, and talking about securities and stuff. Oh yeah, this is another interesting one. Which one? Yeah, chat, tell me which one to pick on this real quick, and we'll talk about how many total T shares. Give me somebody's answer in the chat, or just give me an answer. You don't have to be. You don't have to be like your answer, but give me one of these to click. Yeah, I know I messed up on this one. Should have been 100. Polls are hard. Okay. I said it here. Somebody asked, I have way over 1,000 on POW. I don't think it counts. 100 to 500. All right. Pretty cool. Look at this. So, again, you got to believe all these, everyone's telling the truth and not just clicking buttons and stuff like that. But if this is true, 291, 15%. So what was that? 20, God, it's early. So 60 people or so, 50, let's say 50 people. Yeah. I'm not doing this math correctly. Sorry. 10% of 29 would be or 291 would be 29. So 15. Yeah, that's about 50. About 52. But I'm going to do the math just to double check. Let's see. 15% of 291. 43. All right, close enough. So 43 people have over 1,000 T-shares. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, most people have, let's say, 10 to 100 or 10 to 500, somewhere in this range. But 43 people, at least 43 people who have seen this poll have over 1,000 T-shares, if they're telling the truth. There are people in this ecosystem who understand Hex. They have plenty of money. They want to win. So, boy, just over 1,000 T-shares is incredible. Either you were in super early, which means maybe you have a lot of money now, or you got in at any point and you just have a lot of money to get all those T-shares because T-share rates went up, Hex price went up. Unless you got it super early, it's hard to get a lot of those big T-shares. But obligatory hexcalc.net session today. If you have, let's say a million, how many T-shares you staked just for a year? Just for a year. But for a year, get 40 T-shares. So if you have 10 million, 400. So to get 1,000, what do we need? We need 20. Let's do 28. 25. 25 million hex. 25 million hex. So $200,000 on EX, at least $200,000 to get 1,000 T-shares. That's just 1,000 at today's price. Yeah, that was like 80K a week or two ago. So 40-some people have over 1,000 T-shares, and we still got plenty of time left in the poll. It'll be more later on. Pretty cool to see that. I did not expect it. Hopefully people weren't just clicking buttons randomly. That's true. That's pretty cool to see. And they're on Twitter. They're paying attention, right? And they follow me apparently, or they follow the Hex hashtag at least. So very cool. Shout out to everyone out there with a large amount of T-shares. And 500 to 1,000. That's another 20 people or so. And then a ton of people, could have hundreds, could have tens or hundreds or all that too. So shout out to everyone who has T-shares because you're getting paid daily. Yield is good. Solid 10 to 500 here. Nice. Yeah, you never know. In 5 or 10 years, again, are we calling T-shares with a lowercase t, 1,000 shares? Talk about million. We're already talking about million shares and billion shares. So when you talk about 1,000 shares, if we go viral, heavily adopted, ETF, Hex ETF, sounds like a thing. It sounds cool. And also sounds like a thing. I could see that. A lot of things need to happen before that happens. But I could see, you know, maybe BlackRock's not going to do it, but that'd be cool if we had like if we were able to put together, you know, well, I mean, we have a lot of the institutional, we have some of the institutional stuff already, Hex Investment Trust and otherwise, but if we're able to put some capital together and do an ETF for Hex, you know, maybe a lot of the mad gains are gone at that point, but up until that point, pretty cool. And it solidifies, you know, future products and trading and gives people exposure to true DeFi, all this stuff as well. So maybe we're early. Maybe we're early. I don't know. Banking on my billionth Hedron to be worth something special one day. And T for R, I certainly hope so. May all of your Hedron be worth as much as mining comments for precious metals, the market cap of that, and more. I don't know, is that going to be big or small? I'm not even sure. It's kind of that's a joke that can go in many different directions as well. By the way, shout out to you, NT Fryer. You, I remember you hit me off about being able to unwrap stakes using Alex's Uniswap fork. I believe that was a cool thing I got from you. So appreciate that, man. I remember you doing some good research out there. Appreciate that. Crypto Gains Club, how's it going? Just in time for me to wrap it up. All right, everyone. Hopefully you enjoy Beyond 10,000x Crypto. These are projects that I like and I think are worth discussing. So I get on the TV here and I discuss them with you all. Get to exchange ideas and talk to the chat, communicate with the community, and yeah, awesome. Community 3.3, that's right. Do all that kind of fun stuff. So that's all I got. I'll be on with Coffee, or Coffee be on with me, I guess. It'll be on this show on, is it tomorrow? I think it is tomorrow. Yeah, to talk SEC and all that stuff. So nothing else. Come back tomorrow. Got a show for you, and then I got some other ones lined up next week and the week after as well. Starting to funnel in. Scivive and 5555. We are out.